Bitcoin, we're going to run into a problem with the scarcity being too much. I mean, if you look at how much you guys are buying, how much Grayscale is buying, how much Square's buying, how much other funds are buying, there's like $1 billion or I can't remember what the number is, a crazy number that some, company from Abu Dhabi is going to be purchasing. And so eventually we're going to run into the scarcity problem because of the stock to flow and things like that. But Ethereum to me seems to be like the next place where a lot of that institutional and corporate money will be flowing into.
I can't really see, I can't see there is a scarcity problem. I mean, I don't even know what that means, right? I mean, there's no scarcity problem. Bitcoin has enough Bitcoin to support all 7.8 billion people and absorb $250 trillion of monetary energy. There's no lack of capacity.
But you don't think eventually it's going to get hard to buy? Because, if you look at the newly minted supply, like right now there's 900 being made a day. Just between the top 4 companies buying Bitcoin right now, they're buying 2,000 per day. Just on average. It may even be more than that now. So, I mean, they're dipping into the circulating supply. We know that circulating supply gets down.
It's not going to get hard to buy. It's going to get exponentially easier to buy, and the price is going up.
Yeah.
It's for you to say there's a scarcity problem. It's kind of like saying, well, there's a number 1 through 21, and I'm afraid that we'll run out of numbers, and we're trying to divide the numbers 1 through 21 between everybody in the human race. And the answer is fractions, right? There's infinite divisibility, right? All you've got is mathematical integrity. And so if the human race decides that it's going to store its value in Bitcoin, then creating 37 million altcoins doesn't solve the problem. You're just talking about counterfeiting 37 million fake currencies, and that's just inflation, right? So no, you don't need Ethereum to store value, right? I mean, Bitcoin solves the problem of store of value, right? It solves it permanently, and scarcity is just a synonym for conservation of energy, which is a synonym for mathematical integrity, which is a synonym for arithmetic.
Yeah.
Right. So, if I say that the laws of the universe, respect the principles of mathematics as described by Isaac Newton and the conservation of energy, and that's Bitcoin, that's not a problem, right? That's the solution to the problem. At the point that there is
it's like self-manifesting, it's like it through that, it proves its worth, basically, I guess. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's very interesting. I would say I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you on the underlying principle, but I'll also say that when you look at corporations that will be wanting to add, cryptocurrency to their balance sheet, obviously Bitcoin primarily, when, the halving keeps the supply getting cut, eventually it's going to be hard to buy 1,000 Bitcoin over the counter. The numbers are just going to be so insane. And I understand what you mean about the math.
Ben.
It is going up, but
why do you
think companies are
the halvings? They're irrelevant. There's 21 million Bitcoin, and that's simply the conservation of energy. The number could be anything. The most important thing is that you have conservation of energy. And when everybody on Earth uses Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin is going to be higher. There's not a problem with it, right? That what you see is that more energy is flowing into the system. If you put 10 trillion into the system, you'll divide that by 21 million, and the price of Bitcoin will be $500,000 a coin. And when you put 100 trillion in the system, you'll divide that by 21 million, and the price will be 5 million of Bitcoin. And when you put a quadrillion into the system, it'll be 50 million. It's irrelevant. It's just a number, right? I mean, in that particular case, everybody gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve, right? You don't need another crypto asset network in order to store money, right? What you need is conservation of energy. And you're right. The people that come into the network first are going to benefit versus those people that bought Bitcoin at $1 are doing pretty good right now instead of having to pay $50,000. But the price will just keep going up so that the supply is always equal to the demand. And the liquidity trading in the market is just going to keep advancing. And as the liquidity advances, it's going to attract progressively larger companies and then, small municipalities. and then states, and then governments and institutions and the like, and that can go on forever.
Wow.
You can divide 21 million by 100 million Satoshis of Bitcoin. It's going to work just fine.
Yeah, it sounds like you're playing 21 million D chess. That's what it sounds like right now. You're on a whole nother wavelength with where you think this is going. You truly do believe Bitcoin is Godzilla, and that countries are going to adopt it. And that's really refreshing to hear the number 2 biggest owner of Bitcoin in terms of corporations, CEO saying.
Well, Ben, here's what I think. I think it's the first $1 trillion brand in the history of the world, at least one created by man. If you discount the US dollar, some people say the dollar is the greatest brand, but after the dollar, Bitcoin is $1 trillion monetary network. It grew from 0 to $1 trillion in 12 years. That's faster than Google, which took 22 years to get to $1 trillion in market cap.
Wow,
or
that's
Amazon
a good way to put it in perspective.
Yeah, so it's $1 trillion network. It's a proof of work network. If you look at other crypto asset networks that purport to be a store of value, the next best one is 100 times smaller. Ethereum's not even committed to being a proof of work network. They're converting it into a proof of stake network.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a proof of work network, you got to go all the way to like Bitcoin Cash. And what you have is you have one network, which is 100 times bigger than the next best one. It's 97% dominant, as a proof of work crypto asset network. So that being the case, it seems quite clear that it's won that battle. It is the bank in cyberspace if you want to deposit your money, and it is the overarching brand. There's no reason why we wouldn't expect it to continue to be the brand of long-term store of value money or base layer money for hundreds of years.
I love it. I mean, I think the one takeaway that everybody should have from this is when we colonize Mars and we're trading with aliens, we're going to be trading Bitcoin. I think hopefully the aliens take Bitcoin.